Welcome to Tuesday Tips with Dr. Latanya Hughes and Shanae Jordan, where we share our thoughts on different topics to help you be the best version of you possible so you can spread lots of love and light. Let's see what we're talking about this week. Thanks for watching.
Hi, you guys, and we're back with another episode of Tuesday Tips. Y'all, my curls is popping. Anyway, side note, but anyway, today's episode we're talking about Black Panther. Um, we really wanted to talk about, we already said when we opened up this series for February, we were talking about Black excellence. And that film, the anniversary was last week. I think it was Valentine's Day last year, whatever. Anyway, but it was just a huge deal. Box office, out the park, hit it, all of that. And so today we really want to highlight and talk about the excellence that is Black Panther, the film, but specifically talk about what it did for the culture, not just for Black people here in the United States, but all over the world. I personally thought that it was an excellent film, cinematography, everything all the way around. I love that the writing was so good. I love that they didn't. It was you didn't have the buffoonery, you know what I mean? It Black people with the goofiness and all of that stuff, but it was just excellence. And me being an educator, I love that it brought in so many different layers of Black culture, African culture, especially, and just seeing it. And the other part I love was the rainbow of Blackness. In all sizes and shapes. I love that everything was it was cohesive but different, and cinematography wise, and this and that, and just the accents, and I just thought it was just excellence on display, from costumes and set design and just everything. It was Black excellence on display, and it just kind of let you know that Black people are not an inferior product. We don't do inferiority. We don't do that very well. We are excellence. We are walking magic. And the fact that this film grossed over $1 billion worldwide dispel the myth that Blacks can't carry a film, because of course we can. We always do good. Absolutely. And so I just that's just yeah. I can't. I'm sorry.
No, I definitely agree. I love, like you said before, I love the colorism of, just the people. And I know when it first came out, I was getting a lot of text messages from friends and family members like, "Oh my God, girl, you have people, they bald, girl, they just like you." And I'm just like, "Oh, really?" And this is, like I said, this is before I even saw the movie. And, for me being someone, well, right now I am kind of growing my hair out, but if you look at the previous videos, I was pretty much bald. And for
Let's
me,
put a pin in this, because she wouldn't. This is huge for her to grow her hair out, because for the last couple of years she's like, I got too much hair on my head. I need to go get my hair cut. I need to see my barber. So y'all.
And listen, I'm almost there, y'all, but I'm gonna try to stick it out. Okay, I'm gonna try to stick it out.
I'm like, she's ready to cut this hair off. Like, she's been ready to cut this hair off. I know. Listen, when she came on, I was just like, what are we doing with this hair? Like, this is too much hair. Like, what are we doing? This is new.
I know, it's new. It's so new, y'all. It's summertime. It might not be like this, okay? Just throw it out there. But anyway,
random, but it's okay. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. But yeah, so that really excited me, because it was just like, wow, you don't see that a lot. When you see women, you think of hair. I mean, you just automatically, that's a given. And so to see that all the warriors, every last warrior did not have hair, for me personally, that touched me. And to see that they were just inferior, they were strong, they were phenomenal. they had so much character, and it was just awesome to see. I mean, it just like she said, the different ways that they contribute, African culture. And you just saw that, you heard the accents, different accents too, and they weren't the same. And even though they may sound the same, if you're not used to, the different, type of accents, but it was different. If you actually listen to it again, watch the movie and listen to it, you can definitely, hear that. And it was just phenomenal. I know, it's all around the world. Everybody was dressing up, they were going to it, they was dancing afterwards. They was getting it, you just saw.
Listen, the choreography that I saw, folks.
Yeah. Oh, they were practicing. Oh, they were practicing.
Y'all done got together on the side at the house and recorded and practiced and looked at yourselves because it was too. Listen, y'all was out here coordinating,
yes,
choreographing stuff and such. And
it was really good. This film, I really feel like, brought people together, especially our culture together. Black people, because it was just like, oh my God, we have to go see this. We have to go experience this. We have to go see what it's all about. And plus, of course, they had, actors and actresses that was, appealing, and we knew who they were. But just to see how they all came together, and it was just, I mean, children, adults, teenagers. It's just. Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, that film was. It's just, it still is. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. It still is. And when it came out on DVD, Blu-ray, you couldn't find it in the store. It was gone. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, pre-orders was insane. And so I think that in itself speaks to just how phenomenal and the impact the film had, and still has. Because when it came out on Netflix, I was like, I didn't expect it to be on Netflix. There was nothing. I'm like, what we gonna watch today? Black Panther. What we streaming today? Black Panther. Like,
question. I have a question for you, Dr. Hughes. What if you could compare it to a movie from back in the day that was really popular, that people continue to watch now, that has impacted
Coming to America.
Okay.
That was the last thing that we had with Eddie Murphy. I mean, and because the impact of that was Black royalty. And it just lets you know that Black royalty exists. And and again, that was, it was fiction. Zamunda was fictional, and it was in Africa, but you still got to see, it didn't go into the depths of how of what they did here in Black Panther, but for that time, when Coming to America, like, folks still quote that movie.
Yes.
To this day, you can see a scene, and like, there are whole memes dedicated to that film. And it's stuff that we even say in the Black community, and we automatically know what we're talking about. That boy good. When you see somebody say that, that's Coming to America. That's Coming to America, or McDowell. You already know. You're talking about McDowell. Coming to America. And
it's your queen to be.
Amazing. And what I loved about that movie too was here we had a lot of Black excellence from an actor standpoint, especially what we call old school actors. James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair. That was Black royalty as far as Hollywood was concerned, and still is. And just to be able to see, it was comedic, but it wasn't buffoonery. And so it was Black excellence to show you that we can have a Black comedy and not be clown. And that's something that Spike Lee has always talks about in his film, was Black people don't always have to be the clown in the movie. And we can be the comic relief without being treated like buffoons, and all of that kind of stuff. And that's what I think what a lot of people liked about Coming to America, because it was very much, showing that, and in the message, to me, the message was, yes, it was great. It was all of these different things. But to me, the message was, you want to leave royalty in Africa to come to America for what? To find a wife, to be a regular person, but you weren't created for that.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
created for more. And he still ended up going back, and he got his queen, and and they and now they're talking about doing a second Coming to America, and I'm just like excited because I want to see how they're gonna what this is going to be like.
Yeah.
But you all of that leads up to stuff like this, to where Black's on display in just the excellence overall. Again, that was great cinematography, the costumes, the sets, but just for that movie, it was definitely all about presentation, costumes, because and that was real makeup, that was real like you really needed makeup, because you got Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall playing multiple characters in the same movie, and so you have to, all of that when it came to just seeing that and shifting, and you knew it was them, but at the same time, it was one character I was like, that can't be Eddie Murphy, because he just a whole different thing. And it was just really great to see all of those different special effects and all of that makeup, the makeup artistry, and stuff. It was just great. And so fast forward all of these years later, and you have people still talking about that film. People still talk about Boomerang, and Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee. People still talk about those movies. What's the one Spike Lee with the college? Oh my goodness. You still have that, and there's just so many that we have, but for this, along this context, to me, the first thing that comes to mind is Coming to America. But it's just amazing.
I think you said something really, really that stood out to me was when you were referencing Coming to America, and you were saying that royalty. And I believe that, coming, tying into Black Panther, I really feel like now the Black community really feels and sees that we are royalty. No matter, it doesn't have to be, all gold and, what I'm saying, have the jewelry and, and have the, in a sense, the title of that official title, but we are starting to see ourselves as kings and queens. We're starting to see ourselves, as royalty, as yes, important people, leadership, and we are actually stepping out, especially women. I mean, women now are really, really stepping out and saying, you know what, I have a voice. I have, the leadership skills. I have all these skills and abilities and talents.
Right.
And so now I can do what I said that I always wanted to do. Those times, like I said before in another video, when you ask a child, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they say, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a teacher. I want to be this. I want to be that. And I feel like now that, Black Panther has came out and just different things that have happened around the world, we as a community are now saying, you know what, we can be those things that we said we wanted to be when we were younger. It gave us a sense of hope. It gave us encouragement. I think that Black Panther exposed a lot and allowed people to get out their shells, and say, if they can make a movie about us, then that means that it's real. I can actually pursue my dreams. I can actually be a warrior, in my own context of life. I can actually, saying, be like his sister was a genius in technology, a genius in technology. So you have, and she was a woman, like a female, and when you think of technology, you think of men. I mean, ITs, you see men. So to see that, I really think it encouraged a lot of people. I know it encouraged me. It was, of course, it was a brilliant film, but beyond that, it was just like, wow, I can do this. Like I can do it. So yeah, that's good. I like the royalty piece that you tied into it.
I think so, and I want to highlight something you just said about his sister, played by Letitia Wright, being the genius, and that's another thing that I thought was just more excellence on display. That Black people, our children, who we are not stupid.
Exactly.
Like, we are geniuses when it comes to anything, whether it's technology, medicine. Like, girl had a on everything. She was like, why didn't you just do such? That's even possible? Like, and the response, it's just like, no, all of our children, it's just It's
That's what we do.
amazing that, come on, just again, that's more excellence on display, and let you know that, well, we just all around magic. Like everything
Mhm.
about that film says that we're black magic. Like the
Yeah.
whole point of the purple flower was, Wakanda is this magical place. Well, because
Mhm.
black people are magic.
Mhm.
I don't know what else to say it, but
Mhm.
black people are magic.
Yeah.
And genius of who she was and what she came together, and highlighting the fact that it was a she,
Mhm.
a she. So
Mhm.
women, black girls rock, black girl
Mhm.
magic, whatever you want to say.
Mhm.
We're not inferior either, and we're just as powerful. We bring a lot to the table, and then you have women warriors, and all of these different things, and just understanding that, I like also that they didn't make it to where that it was unrealistic. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
issues in the black community with secrets
Mhm.
and hoarding. We want to keep what we have all to ourselves, and
Mhm.
we want to preserve this, and there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time we have a responsibility, and I love how they showed that struggle, the
Mhm.
struggle between the two. What's the responsibility that we have the resources and the means to help, but at the
Yeah.
same time, in doing so, at what cost to us? And it's kind of like the first thing I think about is of course what happened to the continent of Africa, and how
Mhm.
colonialism and what happened there.
Yeah.
um and that was a great allusion to that. But Native Americans and what happened here in the US. And
Mhm.
we're all immigrants. We
Mhm.
all do not belong here. This was not our land. And, that's kind of what I think about with that. And so just the whole message, it was just
Yeah.
they embodied so much. But honey, that last scene with Killmonger when he said, "I'd rather die
Mhm.
than be locked up,"
Mhm.
and the reference to slavery.
Mhm.
The fact he was like, "No, bury me in the oceans with the ancestors."
Yeah. I think that was everybody's favorite part. I
Because
think that
they
was.
knew that
Yeah.
death was better than bondage. Listen, I said, my God, I was like,
Mhm.
yes, and crying at the same time, because but that is the genius of the
Yeah.
writing.
Mhm.
Because when the writing is good, you can bring that thing to life.
You sure
And
can.
Michael B. Jordan brought Killmonger to life.
Mhm.
Chadwick Boseman brought T'Challa to life. Everybody brought their characters to life because the writing was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was there.
Yeah.
And because Killmonger was like, "Now y'all stole this.
Mhm.
This is from such a y'all. All of this here don't. None of this belongs to you anyway. All of this y'all stole anyway. Y'all
Yeah.
want to think that it's y'all." It was just so. He was the in your face black person that's like, "Y'all need to just stop." And we
Mhm.
shutting all of this down,
Mhm.
and I love it because you had the two sides of the coin. It's
Yeah.
kind of like Malcolm and Martin.
Mhm.
What you don't realize is at the end of Martin's life, he was so much more like Malcolm.
Mhm.
And it was just, to me, again, more of that on
Yeah.
display in the film.
Yeah. Yeah. That part of the movie, I felt like it was everybody's part. I was like, yo, that was so good. You know how you sound so good, you want to shake the next person. I'm like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And
Did
of
you
course,
see that? That was, I'm not gonna lie, that was me. I went to see the movie with my girlfriend, and I was like, did you just hear what she looked at me? She was like, "Girl, just say." I was like, "I know." Like,
and if you could rewind it in the movie theaters, I feel like everybody would be like, yes, rewind it. It was awesome, and I also like the herbal sense of the movie too. When they did the rituals, and how, well, when they had buried him, and he had to go through that process, the traditions. I love that, because like you said, we're not from here. We're used to traditions. We're used to, we're not used to this, regular medicine. We're used to getting plants and, dirt and seeds and, all this stuff. And it just opened my eyes just to see just the variety of us, and how we're awesome. Like,
right.
I don't know what else to say.
When you said that, I love the fact that, that whole piece where they say bury him,
Mm-hmm.
what you don't understand is that's again more imagery, more amazingness, because for you to get healed and to be better, you have to, there's a part of you that has to die.
Mm-hmm.
The sick part of you has to die for you to be resurrected into a stronger, better version of yourself. So it's just so much imagery, so much amazingness in that. Every time, this is one of those films that every time you watch it, you catch something different. And that's how I felt about Coming to America, because every time I watched it, I caught something different. And because it was funny, but when you get past the comedy,
Yeah.
all of it's still there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Black Panther had some comedy, like, the shade was real. Like, there was shade, because,
Exactly.
there's the part when Okoye was like, played by Danny Guerrero, amazing, because the general was no joke. She wasn't playing no
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I want to kill this white man. Like, ain't nobody playing. And she was like, what we doing here? We ain't nobody got time for this. And Chadwick Boseman character T'Challa's like, just let him feel like he doing something.
Yeah.
We gonna take care of it. Just let him feel like he doing something. You know what I mean? It's like you have the wisdom.
Yeah.
You got the one that want to pop off,
Mm-hmm.
but then you got the wisdom over here. It's like we can't pop off right now.
Yeah.
That's not the thing. But at the same time, when he wanted to pop off, the general was like, "You can't do that because you're the king and
Yeah.
you're a person." And so you have that balance, and I love that because there was family, and you saw that this is family, and we have to
Yes.
take care of family.
Family.
And when he stood up to his ancestors and said, every single one of you was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
that was so huge, because sometimes we feel like we can't tell our ancestors or our elders, whether they're living or dead, we feel like we can't tell them that they're wrong. But the reality is sometimes we do, because the traditions that they did were wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of stuff that we believe as a community is just dead wrong.
Wrong. Right. 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 Like, so true. And that's something, that was another thing that I noticed too, just the unity in the family. And yes, it is intimidating and hard to tell your elders, listen, y'all been doing this wrong, because they're your elders. You know what I'm saying? It's that respect that you have and that honor for them, and that right there. And for him, when I saw his face, I saw the father's face, and he was just like, you know what, I can't even argue with you. Like, I can't. So what can I do? And sometimes it's okay. It's okay. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he said it in a disrespectful way.
Right.
I don't think he said it, you know what I'm saying, to, in a sense, bash him. But he was like, listen, y'all, look, y'all were wrong. Despite of whatever issues y'all had, y'all were wrong. Because this could have been stopped. This didn't have to come to this. It didn't have to, but because but see, and also at that time they probably thought they were right.
They did, and it's so many times that's what we think.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is where excellent writing comes into play, because it's talking about the sins of the father,
Mm-hmm.
and how it trickles down to the next generation, and it becomes worse. And what happened was, guess what? Because the sin of the father, it wasn't properly dealt with. Now we end up with Killmonger, and all of these hundreds and thousands of lives dead because of this vengeance, this anger. And he said all of this death is your fault. And he was like, I didn't even know you existed, bro. What you talking about? But it was still there, because we don't understand that when we don't properly deal with things of the past, and we just let stuff go, we cover up and we cover up and we cover up, we don't know what's out there, and it comes back to haunt you years later. And true, and so again, but until you open up your mouth and say it has to stop, and put a stop to it, and say that you all were wrong, and we're turning the corner, we're not doing this like this anymore, it's just phenomenal. Phenomenal
It's
stuff.
a lot of lessons. It's a lot of insight. It's a lot of enlightenment, encouragement, motivation that's going on in this one movie. And this hour and some minutes movie, it might have been more, but it's just a lot, and it's so good. And you said something really good. It's like, every time you watch this movie, you find something different. You see something different, and it's one of those movies that I honestly feel is going to be forever. I mean, even when our grandchildren's grandchildren watch this, it's going to be powerful, because it's like, oh my God, like you just have an oh my God moment each and every time. I don't even know how many times I done watched it, y'all. I can't even tell you. It
And
might be.
nobody got time to be trying to keep an account. And what I love about it is it was age appropriate. Children
Yes.
could see this movie.
Yes.
Now, mind you, like little kids, like my nephew wanted to go see it, and my sister wanted to see it first because not because she was afraid of language or anything, but he's like 3. He was
Yeah.
like 3 or 4. What? No, wait a minute, 5. But just the violence, she wanted to see how
Mm-hmm.
much violence was there. But at the same time, my nephew is extremely smart. I ain't, I'm biased, but I'm
Yes,
just
he
saying,
is.
honest. He really, anybody meets him like, how is he like 5? He's like, amazing. But he's so smart. He will catch just about everything, and my sister's like, I need to be able to answer whatever questions he has. So
Yes.
I need to watch first so that I'm comfortable with him seeing it. And so they're gonna let him see it. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but they're gonna let him see it. But when it first came out, it's something that as a parent, it's
Yeah.
just responsible parenting. Because he wasn't even in school yet. He wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even in first grade yet, and so but it is something that children can see, and that's what I liked about it. I love to see the excitement of schools taking children to see the movie and the reaction of the children
Mm-hmm.
and just what they said, how they felt about the movie was so inspiring because now you have little black kids saying, oh, I can be a scientist, or I
Mm-hmm.
can be this, or I can be that, and oh, I can do that too, or I don't have to, like little black girls, I don't have to have hair to be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be skinny to be beautiful, or I don't have to be light skinned to be beautiful. I can be a dark skin, or I can be whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
and be okay. And that's what I love was the beauty of your skin and who you are. Be comfortable in that because
Yes.
it's beautiful,
Yes.
and it's who you are as you were created to be is more than enough because you're beautiful as you are. And there's no one size fits all to this beauty thing and all of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. The standards that whoever put out, who says that's the standard? And this movie showed you black excellence from one end of the rainbow, meaning from albino
Mm-hmm.
to the darkest of dark, from skinny to thick thigh life.
Mm-hmm.
You're still amazing, and
Yeah.
you own it all.
Yeah. I really wish that this movie was out when I was going through my low self-esteem. I really do. I don't know if it would have, in a sense, changed dramatically for me, but I think that it would have impacted me in a way that I don't think I would have dealt with it as long as I did.
Right.
Because I don't know if you guys know my story, but I had low self-esteem since I was in elementary school. I didn't start overcoming that until college, because I didn't have the long hair, I didn't have the latest clothes, I was thick when I was younger, but during that time, thickness is good now, but when you're young, kids are brutal. Okay, kids, if you don't look like them, they're brutal. I had big lips, I had my nose was spread. It was just a lot. And so this movie, just to see, the dynamics of color and just to see the roles that each woman played, it was just like, wow. If I had that thin, I probably would like, okay, I would have had, built some confidence. But at the same time, I still appreciate it even more now, even though I don't deal with low self-esteem, because now it's confirmation for me, like, you know what, you don't need all of this. Like it's okay to be different. It's okay to not look like anybody else, because now I'm like, if I look like you, then that's boring. Well, I want to be unique. I want to be me. I want somebody to say, I can't have another one of her because she's just so awesome. And
Right.
that's how I hope that you guys feel, as watching Black Panther and just going through life in general, just like, listen, it's okay not to look like everybody else. I don't want you to look like anybody else. And I hope you don't want to look like anybody else, because you are unique. God created you and the way that you're supposed to be.
That's
Your
right.
personality, your looks, your intelligence, everything about you is unique. So when
Right.
somebody say you look like somebody, that ain't me.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't me. So yeah, like I just really hope that you guys were really encouraged by that movie. I really do, because it was an encouraging movie.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I ain't got nothing else. I'm sorry. Because I just think, like I said, this movie was Black excellence on display from beginning to end. And I love the way, just, and when I say from beginning to end, not just in the film, but when T'Challa and T'Chaka was introduced in, I think it was Captain America.
Mhm.
When when he was introduced, when they were introduced there, you still saw the excellence in how they were, and the royalty and the kingship of who they were, just in walking in space in regular plain clothes. And it was
Yeah.
just
Awesome.
so good. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but just recently there's been they've been showing like some behind the scenes stuff from when they were filming it. And you can really see why it's so much excellence when you walk on set and you got folks playing African drums.
Mhm.
And I can't pronounce his name because I'm not even gonna butcher it, but the gentleman from South Africa who played T'Chaka,
Mhm.
and you come on set and he's doing an African dance to these African drums. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
what we filming today?
Yeah.
Yeah, we finna bring it. It's just amazing, and it's just seeing just those behind the scenes things like that, kind of the whole vibe. You understood that it was a mood coming to
Mhm.
set,
Mhm.
and it was just like, this what y'all want to work to every day? Well, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I be beating them to the set. I beat all the directors, but the production team, everybody. I'm there. I'm sitting in my car waiting. Do y'all ready?
Amazing. Like, I don't even care what time to call time is
Mm-mm.
today. I'm
I
on
don't care. I'm there.
I'm on
I'm sleeping here.
right. Like, I'm on set. What we doing today? So
And
uh,
just to see, their personalities and their friendship after the movie, and just see how, if you follow them on Instagram, and you just see how much they encourage each other, and they always behind each other, just the cast members, like, it's just awesome. Like, I really feel, though, I'm not sure if they've been friends before the movie, I'm not sure, but I really feel like if this is the first time that they've met, and they've interacted with each other, I feel like they're going to be lifelong family members. Like, I mean, I don't
there's
think,
camaraderie there that you
yeah.
definitely can see.
Hmm.
Um, and I agree. I agree 1,000%. And I don't know. I can't speak for anybody else. I can't, but all I know is just this was Black excellence on display from beginning to end. And I really hope that you all take it to heart. You take a look. If you haven't seen it for whatever reason, you chose not to see it, thinking it's a Black film that's going to bash white people and everything else. That's not what it is. It did
Far
not
from
do
it.
that at all.
Far
It's
from
far
it.
from it. And we have to get to the point where we understand that Black excellence and when Black people celebrate Black culture and Black excellence, we're not saying that, you know, we're not doing it to down another race. It's
No.
just taking pride when
Right.
Black people take pride in Black stuff.
Hmm.
It is not, don't
We're not anti-white.
it's
Okay.
not a stab.
No.
We're not attacking another race. This is just
Uh-uh.
focusing on the fact that we are magic.
Hmm.
And we want to support that, and we want to encourage that. And that's what I wanted to do in this week's Tuesday tip, was just encourage us and understand that Black excellence is just what it is. Black excellence, we have every right to be excited about Black excellence, and everything that we bring to the table in this world this is us. And I mean, season. Why? Because from Black Panther to whatever else he was in, and This Is Us, and this, and or this season, or whenever he won, it's just like, that's
Hmm.
still Black excellence, and you start seeing it, and you continue to see it, and just understand that we are magic. This movie proved that. Can't much
Hmm.
say. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
Just it was just amazing. That's all I can say. I can't even There's nothing else to. I just I think it did more for the culture than we can even express with words.
Yeah.
You just have to experience it, and to me, that's what Black Panther was. It was an experience, and to see what some of the parents said, in a lot of the interviews, and how they felt what the film impacted their children was, amazing. And so I want to encourage you, if you've been living under a rock or in a barn somewhere that doesn't have any type of connection with civilization, because there are people who do that, go see this film. This month they did release it for free in select theaters. I don't know if they're still doing that, but listen, go see this film. If you got Netflix, it's streaming on Netflix. Stream it, watch it, see it for yourself. And you know, feel the energy of this movie for yourself. And I'm just telling you, it will change your life. It really will, because it's more than just a film. It's a movement. Like they said, I think, I believe Chadwick Boseman said it. This isn't just a film, it's a movement. And it is. And I agree with you. I think that they are family, just so much in just seeing them when they do press together. And we could be wrong, but, you just see the camaraderie and how it is. And just the respect that they have for one another is amazing. And the support that they have. Just go see the film for yourself. If you still haven't seen it a year later, the anniversary was last week of the film coming out. I'm looking forward to the sequel. I believe they're working on the script now or whatnot. It's going to be, I don't expect it to be any less amazing. And I don't expect the writing to be any less amazing. I expect it to all just come in, and I expect them to drop another bomb on us, because it was just that.
It was that amazing.
And so that's all we have for you guys this week. We want to thank you so much for tuning in to Tuesday Tips. I think we're going to take a break I don't know, we're gonna take a break so we gotta get our lives together. Y'all, this here movie, oh, and we gotta come up with something amazing to talk about in March, because my birthday is in March and I will be starting the countdown. So we have to have something amazing. We're gonna talk about, I don't know what it is, we're gonna talk about something amazing in March. But I don't know, we'll figure it out. But it was so good to, just like I said, talk about this, because it's just that good. It really is. And it's something that we need to, just come together on. We really do, because it's just, it's that good.
It really is. It really, and it's when something is really good. I know you guys can attest to this. When something is good, whether it's food, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a relationship you have, sometimes you just can't explain it. It's just something that you just gotta be there. It's one of those moments where you just gotta watch it to understand the mute that we have when it comes to explaining how good this movie is. And we just hope that you're encouraged by it. Even if you've already seen it, watch it again. It's encouraging. And hopefully every time that you do watch it, you get something new. You gain a new insight. You gain another level of respect, another level of community and unity. Because I think that's another thing that the film definitely highlighted was unity, regardless, regardless of the situation, they was unified. And so I leave you guys with that. This world, how the world wants to separate us. The world wants to cause confusion, wants the families to break up. I really encourage you guys to allow this movie to speak to your heart about that. It doesn't matter what we're going through as a family. It doesn't matter what you're going through as in a relationship or at your job. Stay together. Stay together. And don't be so quick to separate because you have a disagreement. Don't be so quick to separate because, something isn't going your way. Take a step back. It's okay to breathe. It's okay to take a step back, reevaluate the situation. And you know what? Regardless of what's going on, we need to stay together as a family.
Right.
Because family matters. Family matters. So I really hope you guys are encouraged. I mean, you can tell we are, and we're trying to spread all of that to you guys
In these streets.
Yeah. So I mean, that's all I have.
And I couldn't say it any better. So thank you all so much for riding out with us on Tuesday Tips. We have, as you can see, we have so much fun doing these. I really do. And I couldn't say it best. Fight for your family, fight for your relationships, fight for what's important to you, but more importantly, respect one another's decisions.
Yes.
T'Challa, it broke his heart to, watch Killmonger die, but that was his decision.
Yeah.
And, one of the things his father says, you're a good man. Mm-hmm. It's hard for a good man to be king. What does that mean? You got to make some hard decisions sometimes. And that means respecting other people's decisions, even when you disagree. Yeah. And, and sometimes in fighting for your family, it means walking away. Mm-hmm. It might mean, respecting the decision and letting them find seeing the error of their ways in their own time and in their space. Yeah. And, hey, letting little sister tease you about your toes being open in her lab and, whatever. And, just trying to support your mom and just everything, the weight and understanding that you got to love each other and be supportive, because the weight that a lot of us carry in leading our families is a challenge. It is. Especially that for the Black man. Mm-hmm. So just, again, so much imagery, so many undertones, excellent writing. Yeah. Just everything about this film was literally Black excellence. And that's what we want to share with you this Black History Month. Just go forth and, again, we do want to encourage you, watch the film. And don't just watch it one time, because again, it's just one of those things where you constantly get something out of it every single time. You catch something new every single time. So with that said, we love you guys. Happy Black History Month. Yes. Keep it going. And we are Black 365. Black excellence happens every single day for us. And we just want to encourage you to keep the energy of Black History Month going beyond these 28 days in the month. Mm-hmm. Just love, value, and appreciate yourselves as a community. Mm-hmm. And when we do that, we all come up. And that's another thing that this movie talked about. It really showed us that, keeping the wealth within the Black community is not a bad thing. If anything, when we keep it within our communities thrive. Yep. Yep. Because Wakanda was super rich. Yep. Like
rich, like
dumb, stupid, rich.
Rich for no reason, rich, like
right. Man out here buying whole buildings and that building and that right. building over there, and
it was nothing. It's like buying a Happy Meal at McDonald's, like rich. Like, dude, really?
This building and that building there and that building over there. Like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Like just buying high-rise buildings is just not. Mm-hmm. Okay. But what that said was, you too, as a Black person, can do that. Yeah, that's your portion. Yes. And so just be encouraged that where you are is not where you're meant to be. Mm-hmm. Come up out of where you are and just unite your. Yeah. Yeah. So we love you guys. Have a fantastic day. This has been an episode of Tuesday Tips. Until next time, we love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching another episode of Tuesday Tips with Dr. Latanya Hughes and Sinead Jordan. We hope to see you back next week. Until then, remember to spread lots of love and light.